You have a great idea for a story, but are afraid of moving on because you fear taking the wrong choices. I hear you. Trust me, you are not alone in this. Every single person who has written a story throughout the existence of humankind is with you. Although maybe the primitives were aces at it and we don't know it. But instead of being afraid of making the next leap, you should risk it all. Remember that writing is rewriting, so everything you write, either good or bad, will always lead you one step closer ahead in your story. Always keep moving. So, on this note, let's say you have a concept and hopefully the outline of your story. Now, how the cricket do you know what kind of characters you need to tell your story in the best possible way? First of all, there is no such thing as the best possible way. The same story can be successfully told in endless ways. The trick is to find the way which you want to tell it, the one that best appeals to you and to your audience, and which works as a story. It's pretty simple. First, look at the theme of your story. Whether you don't have a clue of what I'm talking about or whether you want some good insight on the topic, check out our article on screenwriting questions should be asking part 1-story. It's totally cool and will definitely aid you in your storytelling endeavors. Okay, back to the point. Your theme should clearly express the conflict which is seen in the strong, and I mean strong, opposition between two poles. Example, love versus hate. Each pole should be personified by opposite characters, thus creating conflict between them. Okay, great. But then what? How do we know who the freckle my characters are? First, engrave in your mind the following. Every choice you make should be within the theme and scope of the story. Second, write a list of your characters and write the following for each. Name, age, 1 or 2 words to describe A, a visual image, namely any physical description, could be a reference, example, Nick Cage looking. Please not him. B, an image of their personality, for example, the nerd of the class, or the guy who has $2 steak for a brain, the 40-year-old unmarried embittered woman, etc., etc., etc. There are no rules, just be creative, brief, and concise. Give visual or mental references that anyone can relate to or easily identify in daily life. Then, write a sentence or two stating their role. Example, the protagonist and the guy who's gonna get the girl no matter what, even if that means going against his family and killing himself to be with her in the afterlife. This is why love wins, even in Romeo and Juliet, although on a metaphorical level. Lastly, write a sentence or two of their character's arc and the way in which they will accomplish it, which usually means combating the forces of antagonism. Now, go and create some really cool characters for a really cool story, and subscribe, like, and hit the link below to enjoy more cool stuff about the cool world of filmmaking and storytelling. That's a lot of coolness.